hey, life can change in an instant, and that can feel especially true in the holiday and winter months. One moment everything feels normal, and the next someone else's mistake turns your world upside down. That's why you need a team you can count on. NACE Law Group has been standing up for DC families for decades, fighting for neighbors hurt by medical malpractice, wrongful deaths, and serious injuries. They don't just settle quickly or push papers. They dig in, fight hard, and make sure every client gets the justice they deserve. And here's something we love. They're a longtime supporter of CityCast because just like us, they care about this community and the people who call it home. So if you or someone you care about has been hurt this season, don't wait. Call NACE Law Group. They'll stand with you, fight for your family, and make sure your rights are protected so you can focus on what matters most. Visit WashingtonDCInjuryLawyers.com. That's WashingtonDCInjuryLawyers.com.
Today on CityCast DC, happy December. Now, whether you're a holiday grump or can't get enough of all things merry and bright, we've got your guide to what to eat, drink, see, and do this December in DC. From Guinness World Record kissing to DC's best gifts, I'm joined by my CityCast co-host Michael Schaefer and executive producer Annie Reese to give you our top picks for making the best of DC this month. Oh, and after the conversation, be sure to stick around for a short chat with our sponsor, District Bridges, about a great holiday hunt they do every year. Stick around to learn more. It's Monday, December 1st. I'm Bridget Todd, and here's what DC is talking about. Hi, Michael Schaefer.
Bridget Todd, as I live and breathe.
Hi, Annie Reese.
Hi, Bridget Todd. Hi, Michael Schaefer.
Happy December, everybody.
Happy December.
Happy December. This is, I want to just get into it right up top. People might know this about me. I have historically been a little bit of a Grinch. I don't like the holidays. We just, off mic, we all had a conversation about what's going to be the plan for upcoming holiday stuff. And I felt my heart beat a little bit faster because I hate the holidays.
Oh.
Wow.
How do you all feel about this time of year, December, as we get into the real meat of the holiday season?
I'm pro.
I'm potentially like annoyingly glowy.
Oh.
I do recognize like that there are so many ways that it can, that number one, not everyone celebrates Christmas or holidays in general. Number two, it can be, really difficult. Like I lost my mom a few years ago. And so of course, holidays, there's always a bittersweet element, but I do love them. I love to cook. I love the twinkly lights. I love like neighborhood community. So I'm kind of bought all the way in.
I like the light against the darkness theme, which I think you can apply to, even if you're not a believer in gods and virgin births and things like that. Speaking only for myself. But, we can all stipulate to the annoying things. But I think the twinkly lights and the sense of people coming together and the sense of people returning to roots is all very nice.
Oh, that is a great segue into why we do this stuff at all. If you're new to CityCast, welcome. Happy to have you here. Just as Mike said, we want this show to be something that makes people feel more connected to their community, to DC, to be light against the darkness that we sometimes find ourselves needing to have. And we do these guides for the same reason. The last time that we did this, we were in the thick of a shutdown. That shutdown is over. So I think it's a great time to be talking about some of the light that makes our city so fun and worth hanging out in.
But if you came for me being grouchy about certain aspects of the DC commercial landscape, rest assured I will be.
Yeah, I was going to say, who's the biggest Scrooge among us?
I mean...
And why is it Mike? No,
it's gotta be Mike. I was going to say, I am a Grinch, but I feel like Schaefer takes the cake in terms of
I think it was a year
Scrooges.
ago when I said I didn't like holiday markets.
It was.
And I stand behind that.
Okay, what are your thoughts on holiday markets, Bridget?
I also don't love a holiday market. And this, I actually, you might know more about this than me. I read a few weeks ago, fact check this because I just skimmed it, that at one of DC's holiday markets, instead of selling mulled wine, they're selling like essentially hot mulled grape juice with no alcoholic content, but it's still $12 or whatever. And I thought, the one thing that makes a holiday market good for me is like, well, at least you get like a mulled wine, you get to walk around. If it's $12 mulled hot grape juice. Y'all can keep it.
That's an affront. Yeah.
My gripe is much narrower, which is just that, like, I'm always a little bit let down by the quality and range of the local materials. That there's only so many people in your life for whom you can buy like a intricate map of a DC neighborhood or like a DC flag onesie or whatever, you know?
I think that's so true. Will you both indulge me, though? I do have one holiday market recommendation. This is actually not one that I've been to before, but the Congressional Cemetery has become one of my new favorite places. It's in my neighborhood. It's also a dog park, and it's just such an awesome vibe. And they do a holiday market that, from what I can tell on Reddit, is not as big and chaotic and does have more kind of like vendors that feel hyper local. So I have not been able to experience it yet to know, to give my own kind of like fact check true or not. But I will be going on Sunday, December 7th. And I'm really excited. It's such a cool kind of environment anyway. And maybe it's, some part of the answer of having a holiday market feel better is like when it's not so crowded and you're drinking hot grape juice,
Come to our holiday market. You'll die for our prices. At the cemetery.
Listeners can't see, but when Annie was describing this holiday market, you got the biggest smile. You are a holiday person. You weren't kidding around. I can really tell.
What about you guys? Do you have anything that you're excited to do this month?
Let me subdivide that. Every year this month, there is a house on North Portal Drive. It is the home, I think, of the bishop or leader of the United House of Prayer for all people. And it is one of these like insane lit up Christmas houses. Members of the church from sort of around the country come in and play like Christmas music with like big brass band kind of compositions. And it's like sort of weird and wonderful and like in the way of like a lit up Christmas house, like a little tacky and completely charming and very, very sweet. It was like always sort of a let's drive to the Christmas house kind of destination. Love it.
I love those so much. And I also, though, always want to know what the electricity bill is.
I think probably a lot less than it used to be because everything's LED now.
Yeah, that's true. There was a house near me growing up where they had this massive like oak tree maybe, and they would like this guy would wrap it and it would take him like 40 hours or something to like wrap it in these lights. But it eventually like broke this neighborhood apart where the neighbors got so pissed about how much of a destination it was. So it was like one of those things where like a beautiful thing spurred this like deeply local divide.
That sounds like the plot of like an 80s holiday movie.
Starring Chevy Chase.
Yes, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Yeah.
There could also be like a sort of dark like Coen Brothers version of it.
There's so many ways it could go. You just don't know.
That's the version I would watch.
Another sort of DC December perennial. The city is a city with a lot of like Christmas music concerts, and leaving aside my own lack of religious feelings, I was always a sucker for them. And the National Symphony will do the Messiah. That's at the Kennedy Center, which some people, are less into going to, but it is just where they play. They are not the Kennedy Center. But like this year, there's also like the Gay Men's Chorus of Washington does a Christmas concert, which is a little bit more counter-programmy. That's at the Lincoln Theater.
That's on December 14th, right? Or is it playing throughout?
13th, 14th, and 20th.
Nice.
Of December. Like a couple years ago, I took my kids to see Christmas Carol at Ford's Theater, which, again, it's like...
How close were you to the box?
It's weird. I think I've said this on pod before, but when you are going to go up to the balcony, there's a sign there saying like no guns allowed past this point. And you're kind of like, guys, where was that sign when we needed it?
You could have changed history.
It's all late for that.
That's such a dad joke.
Well, I was with my children.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of like kind of traditional Christmas activity, from traditional to more cutting at the tradition. And I don't know if that's true everywhere, but Washington is like pretty replete with that stuff.
Totally. What about you, Bridget?
Well, because I don't like Christmas, I've kind of started my own holiday tradition called Weirdo Christmas.
I love this. Okay, tell me everything.
So Weirdo Christmas, if anybody wants to join me in observing, is a time each year, each holiday season where Done ideally, you rent a cabin in the woods with a hot tub if you're really going to go all out, and you put up
Speaking of
lights.
Coen Brothers movies.
Yes. You put up lights, you watch bad holiday movies on Lifetime, the worse the better, and you basically just sort of have a couple of days before the actual holiday, whatever the holiday is that you might be celebrating, to sort of decompress and also get to enjoy some of the merriment that the holiday season brings, right? Just even if you don't celebrate Christmas, maybe you still like lights and movies and merriment, right? So it's my way of reclaiming the holiday as somebody who has not historically enjoyed it.
I love this. This is actually something similar that my friends and I have done for a long time for New Year's. It's changing now that there are more kids in the mix, but we would always rent a cabin for like 2 or 3 days around New Year's. And it's just like otherwise that is sort of I call it like amateur holiday, like there's that horrible feeling of being like stuck at a bar with like all of the worst people you've ever seen. And you're like, how do I extricate myself? So, the way to get around that is to be at a cool cabin where you're just like cooking and hanging out with your pals. So I love that, Bridget.
One of DC's most popular holiday traditions returns with an all-new edition. Come join the Gay Men's Chorus of Washington, D.C. as they ring in the season with The Holiday Show. This year, the holiday extravaganza is bigger than ever with new soulful arrangements of your favorite holiday carols. The reindeer will be high-kicking, and the snowflakes will sparkle. Songs include Oh Holy Night, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Let It Snow, We Wish You the Merriest, and Go Tell It on the Mountain. The Holiday Show, December 13th, 14th, and 20th, only at Lincoln Theater. These shows always sell out, so get your tickets soon. ASL tickets and groups of 10 or more, call 202-293-1548. Get your tickets at gmcw.org. That's gmcw.org.
Stories matter at St. Anne's Center, where mothers and children can overcome homelessness and write hopeful new futures. Founded in D.C. in 1860 and chartered by President Lincoln, St. Anne's Center continues to help women and their children today, 165 years on. Now, we invite you for a one-of-a-kind look inside our mission. Visit stanns.org/CityCastDC to watch In Her Words, an exclusive short film highlighting 4 women currently journeying through St. Anne's Center. This 6-minute film explores motherhood, homelessness, and hope through the eyes of the women living the journey. Hear their stories in their words. You can also learn how to support St. Anne's by advocating, donating, or volunteering for the mission. Make a difference this Homelessness Awareness Month. Visit stanns.org/CityCastDC.
Wait, Bridget, are there not Christmas-related things on your sort of radar for December that just happen to be happening in DC?
There are, actually. One of them is DC Cocktail Week, which, if you listen to the episode that we just did recently about best cocktails in DC, you know I love a cocktail. There's all these different bars participating, and they've got cocktail specials, cocktail pairings, lots of different bars participating, like Jane. Immigrant Food probably has the pairing that I'm most intrigued by, which is you can get a vintage margarita alongside a samosa, which that is a combination I would never think to have together, but it's a combination I would like to try.
Wait, what's a vintage margarita? Have we somehow screwed up margaritas in our modern age?
This is a good question. Let me actually throw that into Google. I probably should have done that earlier. What makes it vintage?
Yeah, we gotta know.
Okay, so according to the AI summary of Google, which take that for what it's worth, a vintage margarita refers to the original classic margarita made with just 3 simple ingredients: orange liqueur, lime juice, and tequila. It is not frozen or blended in any way.
Oh, interesting. Okay, this reminds me, I used to work as a server, and I remember the first time someone ordered a perfect Manhattan, I thought they were just being an asshole. I'm on a Manhattan, but I want it to be perfect. But actually perfect is a type of style of the way it's made.
Oh my gosh. I once overheard somebody order a porn star martini. Are you familiar with this cocktail?
Passion fruit, I am. It's one of my friend's favorites, so I've learned how to make it.
I was like, is this person ordering a porn star? It's I'll have a martini, and just FYI, it's for a porn star. So just know that.
It is an insane name.
What about you two? What are things that you're looking forward to this month in DC?
Well, I have this, it's less of an event, but kind of a pitch I want to make to everyone, which is my friend Molly was telling me recently about this canned food drive that she's been doing in her neighborhood. And we've been thinking about different ways to give back, but it just sounded so lovely. So she lives in Mount Pleasant and she's really close to a lot of her neighbors. And so they've started on weekends taking a little wagon around and just cold knocking on other neighbor stores and saying like, hey, you got any canned goods that you want to part with? And then they collect them and they donate them to a nearby church to help with immigrant families affected by ICE. One thing that's really nice about this is that a lot of people maybe have like a couple cans, something that like they might not, doesn't feel like enough to donate on your own. But the fact that they are collecting all of these and then taking it over gives enough for this non-perishable food. And also she just said it's been a really cool way to like meet new neighbors and feel like they're kind of all in it together. So I thought that was a really neat idea and is the kind of very simple thing that is like eminently recreatable.
It's like trick or treat for good.
It's like trick or treat for good. Exactly.
There's a couple of big, like pretty high profile and good comedians coming to town this month. Not Christmas related. So Roy Wood Jr. and John Mulaney, both in December.
Love them both.
I've been on Roy Wood Jr.'s podcast. He's someone who I have really loved watching his career take off. Should have been the host of The Daily Show, I believe, but that's neither here nor there.
I couldn't agree more. But are you going to go see them? That's awesome. I would love to see both.
At least I'm going to see Mulaney. I don't know if I can do Roy Wood Jr., not because of him, but just because of my calendar.
Well, we were talking about holiday markets earlier and how Mike and I aren't so convinced, and Annie is going to be becoming an investment partner in a holiday market coming soon or something. Do you have any good DC gifts that you're maybe thinking about getting for folks in your lives?
I mean, the thing is that like the notion of like a hometown gift has become such a thing. You know, I'm going to get someone like a woodblock print of their neighborhood or, you know, a shirt with the DC flag. And then when you realize like, oh, someone in like Minneapolis or Seattle or whatever is doing the exact same thing, it starts to feel a lot less like cool and uniquely ours. So the present I got a couple of years ago, I saw someone with a Washington Diplomats shirt. Washington Diplomats were a soccer team in the 70s here, and they had a very funny logo with like a soccer ball with a top hat on it. My family found me one.
Oh, that's fun.
Which, like, if the point of the gift is to show your, like, or to label someone to show their hometown spirit or whatever, getting something that's, like, retro to the town, like, you know, Washington Bullets or something like that, that seems like, well, at least for me, that seems like the way to go.
Totally. Side note, we used to have more sports teams that were like named for kind of federal government-y adjacent jobs, right? It was the Washington Senators was the baseball team and the Washington Diplomats. We've really moved away from that.
Our sports teams are I don't think we have great names here. I think Commanders is terrible. It's like everything you don't like about the military and nothing you do like. It's not like heroes or like warriors. It's like the guy bossing you around. And I don't even know what nationals means. Like, I'm a national. Like, I like, literally don't know what that means. And the Capitals, that's like literally a building that's here. Or,
I know.
This is
so
literally
literal.
This is like literally the capital of the country.
Yeah.
And, you know, like there's not much you can do about that. Like, I'd almost rather they be called like the Wildcats or some like generic, like aggressive athletic name.
For sure. Have I ever told you guys what my high school mascot was?
No.
It has occasionally been voted the worst mascot in America, but I think it's the best one. It is a Kewpie, which is a naked baby. The Hickman High School Kewpies.
Named for the mayonnaise?
I think that the Kewpie maybe predates the mayonnaise, but they are, yes, but it is that little symbol. We won state football and baseball my senior year, so we were a formidable force, but that's our name.
I never thought I would hear a mascot that was worse or better than, depending on how you think about it, than the banana slug, which I've always thought has to be the country's worst mascot name. I stand corrected.
I think, yeah, tied for worst and best, I guess. Well, one thing I really love giving gifts. I also will often like keep a list kind of throughout the year so that if I see something that reminds me of someone, like I will just kind of like write it down.
Bridget, it's going to be a good Christmas for us.
One gift I gave myself last year was the Jose Andres cookbook from Zaytinya, partially because their Brussels sprouts are so good and I wanted to learn how to make them. It turns out that the reason restaurant Brussels sprouts are as good as they are is that they're fried. So you do have to like fry them in a significant amount of oil. But
Wait, they're
I
like
think
deep fried or like sauteed?
they're like deep fried.
Ah, wow. All right.
You got a splatter screen. You maybe will smoke out your kitchen. It's a really fun game to play. But I think that a cookbook for a restaurant you love that's local, if they happen to make one, can be a really nice gift. And then one thing my dad got my husband and I when he was in town visiting us, and it was during the shutdown, was a membership to the Phillips collection, which I didn't have
cool.
before, but I'm so happy to have now, and we will definitely be re-upping it next year. So I think that having, memberships to the local museums is a great local gift.
Okay, so now I'm a little mad because, Annie, you know this. We did an all-host episode where every CityCast host got together and we did an episode all about best local gift ideas.
Yes.
I think Annie is the only person who knows how much I spun out trying to come up with that idea. We probably had 3 different conversations about it, and I couldn't come up with anything. Then I said, you know what? I'm just going to go with a bottle of mumbo sauce. Then on our morning meeting, I'm not even sure if Mike knows this. Mike was like, it's so played out when people are talking about mumbo sauce in DC. And I was like, crap, that was the only thing I came up with. So then Annie and I had to have another phone call where I said, I'm not doing mumbo sauce. Mike is right. It's a terrible gift idea. Do you all remember this?
Yes.
I was having a DC existential crisis. Oh.
You did, but then you came up with a great one.
I did. The cookbook, the Jose Andres cookbook would have been good. I wish I could go back. Maybe I'll call every CityCast location host back and we'll redo this. And the Jose Andres cookbook one's pretty good.
I mean and there's you could probably fill a couple of bookshelves with cookbooks from people who run DC restaurants.
Bridget, what was the gift that you recommended in all hosts?
It was a bottle of vodka called Fascist Tears from the DC-based distillery Republic Restoratives.
Wow, they should be naming our sports teams, huh?
Yeah, they sure should be. Years and years and years ago, there was this love. Back when Union Station was like a place you would take your parents for lunch, there was a beautiful restaurant called B. Smith's. And B. Smith used to be this very chic Black restaurateur. And I remember going there with my late mother for Mother's Day, and wouldn't you know it, B. Smith was there, and we both bought a copy of her cookbook, and she signed it. And it truly was one of the most, it was a memorable time for me in DC. And that restaurant is no longer there, and B. Smith, I think, passed away. But yeah, DC-based cookbooks, that really is I wish you would have just told me, listen, here's the gift that you're going to go with for the all-host taping. Whatever you've got, don't even worry about it. This is what you're going to pick.
Well, this is what your gift will be this year. Spoiler alert, Bridget.
Okay.
Another great gift that you could give is a membership to CityCast. We actually this year have this new thing, which is that you can more easily give it as a gift. If you go to membership.citycast.fm/gifts, there's a way to gift that membership. So just like we were talking about how a membership to the Phillips collection or a membership to a museum that you love that maybe costs is a great gift. Similarly, give someone the gift of CityCast. It supports the work we do, and I think they'd really like it.
I think it would be a fantastic gift idea. And yeah, if you find conversations like this one to be a light in a sometimes dark media landscape, it's a great way to light up somebody's holiday season.
Look, I say this a lot, but I know me and Bridget sound real pretty, but there's a bunch of work that happens behind the scenes, and it's not cheap. So anybody who helps make it happen is doing themselves a service, I think, because I think we do a pretty good podcast here, but also I think doing the city a service, because we're at a time when local media everywhere is having a really, really hard time, and adding to the conversation and highlighting some of the work that people elsewhere in media and the world of people who study and know a lot about DC, highlighting their work, I think is a good thing for the city. And I think it's kind of a fun thing to be involved with too.
Totally. And look, we all have way too much stuff. That is actually one thing we haven't fully talked about this December, but like the level of consumption can be sort of staggering. So there is also something so nice about an experiential gift or a gift where like, you're getting stuff, you're getting a daily podcast, ad-free, and a newsletter and some other fun perks, but you're not getting boxes and boxes of stuff, which I think is nice.
Especially if you live in one of the notably tiny DC apartments that are often in DC. You might be running out of space for the stuff.
That's right. So that's membership.citycast.fm, or to give it as a gift, that's membership.citycast.fm/gifts.
And hey, if you all are listening and tuning in as part of the District Bridges Holiday Hunt, thank you so much for being here. Your code word for the scavenger hunt is CityCast. All one word, all in caps. Again, your secret code word is CityCast. Happy scavenger hunting.
Okay, guys, I have a pretty wild thing that readers of Hey DC will know, which is that on Saturday, December 13th at Anthem Row, the downtown DC Business District is hosting an event to try to break the Guinness World Record for most couples kissing under the mistletoe at once. Okay, Mike's face is doing something really, he's really hates this.
The just juxtaposition of Annie ear-to-ear smile while describing this and Mike look of horror while hearing about it was truly beautiful.
I'm all for other people expressing their love. I don't know if I would like travel across town to watch a lot of other people kiss.
No, I agree. And I do think it's absurd. I will caveat that my smile was also because this is ridiculous, but it does sound really funny.
Oh my God. When you were describing it, every word worse than the word that came before it. Holiday, yuck. PDA, horrible. Crowds, no.
Wait, do you think that in the age of Me Too, mistletoe has become problematic itself? The concept of like a concept of this plant that gives you free license to kiss whoever you want?
I mean, I think it's mistletoe plus consent, but yeah, it's a weird thing.
I mean, I don't know if mistletoe is a valid defense in a court of law. I don't think it is. But I bet someone's tried it.
We were under the mistletoe. What was I supposed to do?
Yeah, so this is not one I'll be going to, but it is one that deserves a mention. I feel like this falls into the mention that Kayla made last month of like the Taco Bell 50K. Like this is just like very weird and worth knowing about, I think. Good for your Christmas party of conversational fodder.
I wonder how many other Guinness Book of World Records are held in this city of ours.
I think we made the largest pupusa.
Oh, I think we did. You're right.
Again, not necessarily I don't know if a large pupusa tastes better than a regular pupusa.
I could almost guarantee it tastes worse. Because you're only focusing on the size and not the taste and texture, which are very important in a pupusa.
It is 100% true.
Well, even though I'm not the biggest holiday person, one of the things I do enjoy about the season is the lights. And so if you're a little bit tapped out because you've been buying everybody cookbooks and vintage DC jerseys and you want something free to experience, December 6th, they've got the holiday boat parade and party at the wharf where you can see all these different decorated boats decorated with lights. There's going to have activities, including hot toddies and live music, holiday karaoke. It sounds very family friendly. Santa's going to be there, so celebrity sighting. That actually looks kind of cute.
So my other Christmas culinary pro tip, and it's going to disappoint people who actually care about Christmas or fancy food. I have always been a skeptic of Christmas dinner, like the big meal you have in the middle of the day on Christmas Day when people get dressed up and have to sit and be polite and stuff like that. I think the kids hate it because they just want to go play with their new stuff. And everyone's a little sick of each other by that time because you've probably been together for like at least 24 hours. And a couple of years ago at my in-laws' house, we just ordered Chinese food. And it was amazing. There was no obligation to sit and be proper. There was pretty good Chinese food. And I felt, my dad was Jewish, my mom is Catholic, and I felt like it was also like honoring my dad's side of the equation. But like the sort of intentional walking away from like a white tablecloth moment seemed like a really good thing.
Totally. I do think that any time of the year, I do think tradition can be beautiful, but can also be kind of like it can kind of hold you in a vice grip. And I think that breaking out of that and trying new things is actually really nice. You don't have to do something just because it's the way you were raised. I feel like this is something I'm kind of thinking about too, is like, what new stuff do I want to be trying out and not just like sticking to what I know.
Oh, yes. This is very much my type of holiday carrying on, one that just turns things down on obligation and tradition for tradition's sake and just, yeah, lowers the stress level for all parties. I am all for it. Plus, I love Chinese food.
Boom. Where do you order from? I ask that because I don't really have a favorite spot. And I think it would be good to have like a go-to.
My favorite used to be Great Wall Szechuan. I've been getting delivery from them for years and years and years. And then I moved literally down the block. And the first time that we ordered Great Wall, I was like, oh, wouldn't it be funny if they didn't deliver it here because it's across the street? And that turned out to be true. They would not deliver. It's like an episode of Seinfeld. It closed down recently, but that was my go-to.
Wow.
I've got two. I love Han Palace. There's one near me on Barracks Row, and
there's one in Woodley Park.
Woodley Park, yep. And then Dumpling Hot Pot Beyond is on H Street. Both of them just have great Szechuan food, great soup dumplings. I love a soup dumpling. It is a really cozy, good thing to eat this time of year.
Well, Annie, Michael, I probably won't be seeing you at any holiday markets anytime soon, but I hope your holiday season and your December is festive and bright. Thank you so much for being here.
Annie, we can stay on after, and I can give you my home address to mail the present.
Great. Great to see you both.
It's going to be awesome. Listen, you guys have a great Christmas, and we will see you soon.
Yeah, see you soon. I'm really so grateful to work with both of you.
And y'all don't go anywhere because in just a second, CityCast's Annie Reese is chatting with our sponsor, District Bridges, about a holiday scavenger hunt that will get your competitive spirit going.
Hey, executive producer Annie Reese here with Anna Claire Walker from District Bridges. We're going to fill you in on the holiday hunt they have coming up. Hi, Anna Claire.
Hi, Annie.
So this is my favorite time of year. I think for a lot of people listening, it's probably their favorite time of year. Twinkly lights, crisp weather. Why is this particular holiday season especially important for small businesses?
Well, it has been a rough year for small businesses. You know, we support a lot of different small businesses, restaurants, retail, services, nail salons, hair salons, and they're all kind of saying the same thing, you know, like the effect on the economy of people losing their jobs, of people not having as much expendable income and tariffs and everything. It all hits small businesses really, really hard. As someone who's been working for District Bridges for a few years, and just as someone who really cares about our planet and our local economy and our community, I think supporting small businesses, especially at the holiday season, has never really been more important, or it feels really palpable right now this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And can you walk us through how DC Holiday Hunt works?
Yes. So I think this is our 5th year doing it. We started doing a holiday decorating competition during the pandemic to kind of get people out to at least see the small businesses on the outside, even if, people were doing sidewalk sales instead of having people inside and that kind of stuff. But small businesses can't compete with big light displays in kind of corporate areas. And that's kind of what we were trying to compete with back then. So the thing that really worked in that holiday lights campaign those years ago was the scavenger hunt part of it.
Love a scavenger hunt.
Yeah. So a couple years ago, we were like, you know what? We're going to turn this campaign inside out and just focus on the scavenger hunt, and voting for your favorite small business window display will be part of it, but that won't be like the main focus of it, because there's so many other things we could incorporate into the scavenger hunt. Trivia about the neighborhoods, little secret things that are hidden, like secret codes or a secret, one neighborhood did little secret Yetis in all their small businesses that you had to go find, or ask the bartender a secret question that, then gives you a coupon. There's so many fun things you can do. So it's been super, super fun. Every year we've expanded how long the campaign is going on for, because we keep hearing from people, they get so into it. It's so competitive and fun. You can do it with a group of people. You can do it by yourself. So here's how it works. You don't have to download an app. You don't have to put anything permanently on your phone. It's just in a browser. But you put in your email and it unlocks all these challenges to do across DC. Certain businesses have signed up to offer discounts or gift cards to winners. There's secret codes you can find. And then you also get points for just doing things you probably are doing around the holidays anyway. Going out for cocktails with friends, great. Send us a selfie of you doing it and you're going to get points. And all those points count for entries into the raffle, as well as points for the top 3 winners. So the top 3 winners of this campaign get all different kinds of gift cards to their favorite small businesses. So
Ooh.
it's really a way to track how you're spending your time and your money investing in your local community this holiday season, and then you get rewarded for it at the end. So it's really a fun way to bring people together and have people think about their communities this season.
Totally. And bless you for not creating another app that people have to download.
Yeah. That is the worst, because then it's there, it's taking up space. You don't know if you're going to delete it or not. No.
It really is
just
the worst.
And if you use the same email, you can do it from your desktop. Like if you remember something you did that you want to track or whatever, you can just do it on your desktop and it will sync with a browser in your phone as long as you use the same email. So it's really user-friendly.
Yeah, so the best way for listeners to sign up and start playing is just by putting in their email.
Yeah, absolutely. You just put in your name, your email, and then it pops up and it'll fill in the ones. There's some that if you do it once, it goes away. And then there's some that you can do every day, every week. So you can just keep coming back for more.
Perfect. And that'll be at districtbridges.org.
Yes, districtbridges.org or Google DC Holiday Hunt, and it's the first thing that pops up.
I love that. And you said, I'm a little competitive. You said the best prizes up for grabs this year. It sounds like a lot of gift cards, which are inherently experiential, so that people can go with their friends and enjoy being out. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, it goes from a coupon for free cocktails at Lamont Royal and Adams Morgan to a month of free hot yoga at Reunion Hot Yoga, gift cards to restaurants, nail salons. I mean, there's so many things up for grabs that last time I think we had over 50 winners and over 3,000 prizes given out at the end.
Ooh, that's awesome. Well, Anna Claire, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks so much for having me.
Again, you can check out districtbridges.org to learn more. We'll also have that link for you in our show notes, so you're just a click away. Thanks for listening.
And that is all for today here on CityCast DC. If you enjoyed the show, why not tell a friend, rate the show, leave us a review, and be sure to subscribe to our morning newsletter. We'll be back tomorrow morning with even more news from around the city. I will talk to you then.